I glanced at the engagement ring on my finger and couldn't stop smiling. I still can't believe she said yes, I said to Amir as we walked through the park. Amir laughed, shaking his head. You've been talking about this for months, Saeed. I half expected her to change her mind. She wouldn't, I replied, feeling a surge of confidence. Layla and I were perfect together. She understands me like no one else. Amir's smile faded slightly. Just don't let your head get too high. People aren't always what they seem. I waved him off. I know her. I trust her. I've never felt this connected to anyone. Later, I met Layla at our favorite cafe. She was already seated, scrolling on her phone. Hey, handsome, she said without looking up, her tone teasing but distant. Hey, I said, sliding into the chair across from her. I was thinking about dinner with my parents this weekend. Are you excited? She looked up, eyes cold but smiling. Of course. Your family is cute. I chuckled, ignoring the faint sting in her words. You mean you're thrilled, right? Her lips curved slightly. Thrilled is a strong word. But yes, I'm thrilled. I leaned back, feeling a warmth spread through me. I just want them to see how amazing you are. You deserve to be celebrated. She reached across the table, touching my hand lightly. I know, and I appreciate it. Still, a tiny voice in my head whispered, why does she sound so distant sometimes? I pushed it away. I'm imagining things. She loves me. Later that evening, Amir called. So, dinner this weekend? You ready for family interrogation? I laughed. Absolutely. I'm excited. Honestly, it feels like everything's finally falling into place. Amir's tone softened. Just be careful, Saeed. Trust fully, but don't forget to watch for cracks. I will, I said, genuinely believing him. I hung up and stared at the ceiling. My life felt perfect. Engagement, love, friends, family, everything I'd worked for was here. Little did I know, the storm was already brewing just beneath the surface, hidden behind Layla's charming smile. Dinner had barely started when I noticed Layla's smile felt sharper than usual. Oh, this table looks so modest, she said, running her fingers over the linen napkins. I hope the food isn't too, basic for me. I froze. Layla, please, this is my family's home. They've worked hard, she laughed lightly, but there was a sting in it. I know. It's just I've been used to finer things. I hope you're not embarrassed by me. My father frowned. Layla, it's not about things. We're glad you're here. Oh, I can tell, she said, tilting her head, eyes glinting. You all seem simple. And Saeed, darling, your work, is it still that little project you told me about? I felt my chest tighten. It's not little, Layla. It's growing steadily. I'm proud of it, she smirked. Growing steadily is cute. But don't you think you should aim higher? I mean, my friends' fiancés are in serious positions. I swallowed hard, trying to maintain calm. Layla, my work is important to me. That's what matters. Of course, she said, eyes scanning my parents' living room. And you, Mr. Saeed's parents, this house is quaint. Not very luxurious, but cozy. I could feel heat rising to my face. My mother's hands trembled slightly, clutching her napkin. Layla, please, this isn't the time. Time for what? She asked, leaning forward. To pretend everything's perfect? Don't worry, I get it. You love him so much, you don't notice he's, limited. I stood up abruptly. Layla, enough. You're humiliating me in front of my family. She laughed, sharp and high-pitched. I'm just being honest. Isn't honesty what you love about me? Amir, sitting quietly beside me, clenched his fists under the table. He said nothing, but his glare could have burned through steel. I felt my hands shaking. I trusted you. I thought you loved me. Oh, I do love you, she said, smirking. But love doesn't mean I can't say the truth. You're let's just say, not what I expected. My heart broke. Every word cut deeper than I thought possible. I looked at my family. My mother's eyes were wide with shock, my father's jaw tight. I grabbed my coat. I can't do this. I need some air. Don't be dramatic, she called after me. Come back when you've learned to handle reality. Outside, I leaned against the wall, gasping. My mind raced, trying to process betrayal, humiliation, and disbelief. Amir stepped out beside me. She's toxic, Saeed. You know that, right? He said quietly. I thought I knew her. I muttered, voice shaking. I was wrong. So wrong. I sank onto the bench, my chest aching. Everything I believed, everything I trusted felt like it had been ripped away, and I knew this was only the beginning. I couldn't stop thinking about dinner. Every word Layla said kept replaying in my mind. I muttered to myself, I trusted her, I really did. Amir sat across from me at our usual cafe, sipping his coffee. You look like you haven't slept in days, he said. Because I haven't, I admitted. I need to know who she really is. I can't just ignore what happened. Amir raised an eyebrow. You're serious about investigating her? Yes, I said, voice firm. I need to see if this was just a one-time cruelty or who she really is. He sighed, leaning back. Okay, I can help. But carefully. You don't want her catching on, I nodded. I don't care about catching her. I care about truth. The next day, I met my friend Faraz, who worked in investigations. I need to know everything about Layla, I said, handing him a photo. Her past relationships, any financial or personal missteps, anything. Faraz studied the photo. You're serious. I can dig, but some of this will take time. Time is fine, I said. I just need to know. I need proof. A week later, I sat at my desk, scrolling through messages and files Faraz sent me. Ex-boyfriends? She left them for what? Money, status? I muttered. My fingers trembled as I read. Amir leaned over my shoulder. She's manipulative. These aren't small lies, Saeed. Look at this charity she claimed to run. Fake. She scammed people pretending to help. I gritted my teeth. I can't believe I didn't see any of this. Every smile, every word, all lies. Amir's voice softened. You didn't know. That's not your fault. But now you do. I opened a folder full of screenshots, documents, and testimonies. Look at this, she even lied to her own family about her past. Made them believe she was perfect. Amir shook his head. She's talented at hiding it. That's why you fell for her. I clenched my fists. No, I'm done falling for lies. I'll expose her. Every word, every secret. She can't hurt me anymore. Amir rested a hand on my shoulder. Just remember, Saeed, patience. Plan carefully. Don't let anger blind you. I nodded, determination burning in my chest. I'm not letting her get away with this. She'll regret ever humiliating me. That night, I sat alone, documenting everything meticulously. Each file, each message, each testimony strengthened my resolve. I realized the woman I loved, the woman I trusted, wasn't real. And I knew deep inside that my next steps would change everything. I sat in my apartment, staring at the files I had collected on Layla. My hands shook, not from fear, but from anger. I can't let this go, I muttered to myself. I can't just let her humiliate me and walk away. Amir's voice came through the phone. Saeed, slow down. What are you thinking? I'm thinking she needs to be exposed, I said, pacing the room. I need to show everyone who she really is. You sure you're ready for that? Amir asked cautiously. It won't be easy, and she's clever. One wrong move. I know exactly what I'm doing, I replied, voice firm. I can't be weak anymore. I can't let her control me through fear or shame. Amir was silent for a moment. Okay, I get it. Just don't rush. Timing is everything. I hung up and leaned over the table, scanning the documents. Each lie, each betrayal, each manipulation, everything was laid bare in front of me. She thinks she's untouchable, I muttered. But she isn't. I imagined confronting her at dinner again. Her smug smile, the way she mocked me in front of my family, it fueled me. This time, I said aloud, I won't be the victim. I'll stay calm, collected. I'll strike where it hurts the most. My mind raced, strategizing. Should I confront her publicly or leak the information quietly to my family first? Should I let her arrogance lead her into a trap? Every scenario played in my head like a chess game, Amir called again. Planning it all out? Yeah, I admitted. I'm thinking about the approach. I need her secrets to be undeniable. She can't twist it, deny it, or escape it. Good, he said. Just remember, controlling your anger is as important as exposing her. If you let rage guide you, you'll slip. I nodded, pacing the room. I can't fail. I won't fail. I've been too blind for too long. It's time she learns that every action has consequences. I picked up my notebook and began organizing the evidence. Messages, photos, testimonies. Each piece built the story of who she truly was. The woman I thought I knew, my fiancée, was a fraud. I paused, looking at my reflection in the window. This is it, Saeed, I said quietly. No more excuses, no more hiding. I either take control now or continue being humiliated. I choose control. Amir's voice, calm but firm, echoed in my mind. Patience, precision, power. Yes, I whispered to myself. Patience, precision, power. I will do this my way. And when it's done, she'll regret ever thinking she could break me. That night, I went to bed with a plan in my mind. I was no longer just hurt, just betrayed. I was determined. And from this moment forward, nothing would stop me from revealing the truth. I opened my laptop and stared at the folder labeled Layla. Messages, photos, screenshots, all pieces of her deception. Every lie, I muttered. Every betrayal, I'll make them see the truth. Amir leaned over my shoulder. You're serious about this, he said, eyes scanning the evidence. I am, I replied, fingers flying over the keyboard. She thinks she's untouchable. She's arrogant, careless. That's her weakness, Amir nodded. Just don't let her catch wind. One slip and she'll cover her tracks. I know, I said. I've been careful. Private chats, anonymous tips, witness statements. Even her so-called friend, Sarah, has been helpful unknowingly. You mean she's feeding you evidence without realizing? Amir asked. Exactly, I said, smiling faintly. Every brag, every boast, it's all recorded. Suddenly my phone buzzed. A message from Layla. Saeed, can we talk? I'm sorry for everything. I stared at it. My heart twisted, part of me aching. I typed back carefully. Okay, what do you want to say? A minute later. Just want to make things right. Please. I felt the familiar pang of longing, but pushed it down. I'll play along, I whispered. I can't let her see I'm planning anything yet. Amir watched silently. She's testing you. Don't let her know you're ahead. I won't, I said, closing the message. I'll let her think she has a chance while I prepare the final pieces. I spent the next hours digging deeper. Photos of her with ex-boyfriends, statements from people she had scammed, each file fueled my determination. I even discovered emails where she lied to her own family about her career and charity work. Amir frowned. Every day she thinks she's controlling everything. Meanwhile, we're building the case against her. I nodded. I feel alive, Amir, but scared too. What if I make a mistake? What if she finds out before I'm ready? You'll be fine, he said firmly. Careful planning beats fear. I smiled, feeling a strange mix of excitement and heartbreak. It's ironic, isn't it? I'm thrilled to expose her, yet my chest still aches when I think of her. Every lie she told fuels my revenge, but also reminds me of what I lost. Amir put a hand on my shoulder. That's normal. Just don't let it cloud your judgment. I took a deep breath. I won't. I'll finish this right. She won't see it coming, and when it happens, everyone will know the real Layla. Later that night, I replied to her. I forgive you. A lie, a mask, a tool. My mind raced, planning the next move. I was no longer the naive fiancé's victim. I was ready to play the game, and this time, I would win. I sat in the corner of the cafe, my laptop open and recording everything. Amir leaned against the wall, watching discreetly. She's arrogant enough to take the bait, he whispered. I nodded, keeping my eyes on the door. That's exactly why this will work. She never suspects me anymore. Layla walked in, smiling as if she owned the room. Saeed, fancy seeing you here? She said, her tone dripping with charm. Layla, I said coolly, pretending to be surprised. I didn't expect you. Oh, I just thought we could talk. Make things right, you know, she said, tilting her head. Of course, I replied, keeping my voice calm. What's on your mind? She laughed lightly. Honestly? You've always been so sensitive. I never realized you'd be so easily embarrassed, I forced a smile. And you've always been so confident. But I imagine that's gotten you far. She leaned closer, whispering. It does. And I hope you're not planning any more surprises for me. I nodded slowly, pretending to ponder. I wouldn't dream of it. But tell me, Layla, how's the project with Ahmed going? Her smile faltered for a split second. Oh, it's fine. Why do you ask? Just curious, I said, tapping a pen against the table. I heard some people weren't entirely happy with the way things were handled. Her laugh was sharp. Saeed, you really think I'd do anything wrong? Come on, you know me. I leaned back, letting her arrogance settle. Of course. But funny, isn't it? How people keep sending me messages claiming they were misled or lied to. Her eyes darted slightly just for a moment. Who told you that? I shook my head. No one in particular. Just rumors. Funny how they match what I've already found. Amir nudged my shoulder subtly. I understood. Now was the time to push without revealing too much. I opened my laptop and played a clip of her conversation with her colleague Ahmed, where she openly admitted to falsifying reports. Layla's face paled. Wait, where did you get that? She stammered, glancing around nervously. I smiled faintly. It seems the truth has a way of coming out. She opened her mouth to speak, but stopped, realizing she had walked straight into the trap. My chest pounded. The thrill mixed with anxiety. I wanted to strike now, but timing mattered. Amir whispered, patience. Let her panic. Wait for the maximum impact. I nodded, taking a deep breath. You're right. She's teetering on the edge, and soon, everyone will see who she really is. Layla's confident mask cracked, her arrogance replaced with fear, though she tried to cover it with fake bravado. I could feel the moment stretching, heavy and electric, and I knew I had her exactly where I wanted. I stood in the living room, my hands gripping the folder of evidence. My family and friends were gathered, chatting casually, unaware of what was about to happen. Amir stood beside me, his eyes steady but cautious. Layla, I said, voice calm but firm, there's something we need to discuss. She raised an eyebrow, feigning innocence. Oh? What now, Saeed? Another misunderstanding? I held up my phone, projecting screenshots onto the screen. These aren't misunderstandings. These are lies, manipulations, and betrayals. You humiliated me, and now everyone will know why. Layla's lips curled into a smile, but it didn't reach her eyes. You're overreacting. Really, this is childish, I shook my head. No, this is truth. Let's start with your ex-boyfriends. Ahmed, Sarah, anyone else you've lied to for personal gain. She laughed, sharp and dismissive. Oh, this is rich. You're trying to ruin me with old stories? I pressed play on a voice recording. Her conversation with Ahmed admitting to falsifying work documents filled the room. Layla froze, her eyes wide. What, how? She stammered. I turned to my family. Every word she said about me, every insult, this is who she really is. Not just to me, but to everyone she's deceived. My father's jaw tightened. Saeed. I ignored him, scrolling through messages she sent to friends, bragging about manipulating me, mocking my career, and belittling my family. The room grew quiet, the air heavy with disbelief. Layla's hand flew to her mouth. You can't! These are private! Private? I asked, voice rising slightly. You think your lies are private? You think humiliating me in front of my family is private? Friends whispered among themselves, pointing at the evidence. I can't believe this, one said. She lied to all of us too? Layla tried to regain control. Saeed, you don't understand. These are lies. I never meant. I held up a hand. Stop. Every excuse, every manipulation, it's all here. I wanted to believe you, but I can't anymore. You humiliated me, and I'm not silent anymore. Tears pricked my eyes. The satisfaction of exposing her was there, but so was heartbreak. I thought I knew you. I trusted you, and I loved you. Her face twisted in anger, desperation flashing in her eyes. You'll regret this. You think this proves anything? You'll ruin yourself too. I shook my head slowly. No, Layla, I found my strength. You wanted to destroy me. Now everyone knows the truth. And I can move forward without fear. Amir placed a hand on my shoulder, quietly whispering, You did it, Saeed, but remember, victory isn't revenge, it's freedom. I looked around at my family and friends, their expressions a mixture of shock and relief. They validated my perspective, their whispers supporting what I already knew. Layla's shoulders slumped, her arrogance finally shattered. I felt a mix of triumph and sadness, knowing the woman I loved was gone, replaced by the mask she'd worn for too long. I took a deep breath. This is over, and it's time I start living for me, not for her lies. She said nothing. Her silence spoke volumes, and in that quiet, I finally felt a sense of control, a bittersweet closure, and the first flicker of peace after betrayal. The apartment felt empty without her. Layla was gone, vanished as if she'd never existed, but the echoes of her lies lingered. I sank onto the couch, staring at the folder still on the table. Amir sat across from me, sipping his tea quietly. How are you holding up? He asked softly. I shrugged, voice tight. I don't know. I should feel relief, right? I exposed her. Everyone knows the truth, but all I feel is emptiness. That's normal, Amir said. You've carried this for months, Saeed. Betrayal leaves scars, even after victory. I rubbed my face. I keep replaying everything, her mocking me, the lies, the way she smiled while hurting me, and me planning revenge. I wonder if I went too far. Amir leaned forward. You didn't go too far. You protected yourself. You revealed the truth. That's not revenge, it's closure. I let out a bitter laugh. Closure feels hollow. I wanted to hurt her, yes, but now that it's done, I feel guilty. Like I crossed a line I can't take back. You were pushed to the edge, Amir said gently, and you handled it. Now it's about rebuilding, not reliving the past. I nodded slowly. I've spent so long trusting blindly. Loving without limits, I need to learn boundaries, to trust cautiously. Amir smiled. Exactly, and you will, one step at a time. I picked up the folder, flipping through the evidence one last time. It's strange. Part of me still misses her, even knowing who she really is. I miss what I thought we had. That's grief, Amir said. Not for her, but for the version of your life you imagined. It's okay to feel it. I leaned back, exhaling. I don't want to be defined by this. I want to be strong, confident, without her shadow hanging over me. You will be, Amir assured. You've already taken control of your story. Now it's about living it for yourself. I smiled faintly, a flicker of hope stirring. I think I'm ready. Ready to rebuild my life. To trust but not blindly. To love but not recklessly. To grow without letting anyone break me again. Amir nodded, proud but silent, giving me space to reflect. For the first time in months, I felt a tiny spark of peace. Layla's chaos was gone, her lies laid bare. And in that emptiness, I realized something important. I was still me. Stronger, wiser, and determined not to lose myself again. I whispered to the empty room. This is my life now. I'll live it on my terms. And for the first time since the betrayal, I believed it. The months after Layla disappeared were quiet, almost painfully so. I rebuilt my career slowly, focusing on projects, clients, and finally trusting my instincts. Amir checked in regularly, but I felt ready to step out on my own. One evening at a cafe, I bumped into someone, literally. Oh, I'm so sorry, she said, steadying me with a gentle smile. It's my fault, I said, chuckling nervously. I wasn't paying attention, she laughed softly. No worries. I'm Hana, by the way, Saeed, I replied, shaking her hand. Her touch was warm, her presence calming. It felt different from the rush and tension I remembered with Layla. Hana tilted her head, curiosity in her eyes. You seem thoughtful. Everything okay? I hesitated, then shrugged. I've had a rough past, but I'm working on moving forward, she nodded, understanding without judgment. That's brave. Healing isn't easy, but it's worth it. Her words stayed with me. Over the next weeks, I found myself seeking her company. She was attentive, genuinely interested in me, and patient when I talked around certain topics. I caught myself smiling without calculating, feeling something I hadn't in years. One afternoon, we sat at the park. I sipped my coffee, watching her feed birds. Hana, I want to be honest. I've been hurt badly. I don't trust easily anymore. She looked at me gently. I understand, Seed, and I won't rush you. Trust grows with time. You'll know when you're ready. Her patience was foreign but comforting. It's strange I've spent so long guarding myself. But with you, it feels safe. Not easy, but safe. Hana smiled softly. That's a start. Safety is the first step toward love, toward connection. You deserve that. I swallowed, emotions welling up. I thought I'd never feel this again. Not after what I went through. You will, she said firmly. Not by forgetting, but by growing. By choosing people who respect and care for you. I nodded slowly. I want that. I want to be careful but also open. I don't want to close off my heart completely. Good, Hana said, reaching across the table to touch my hand lightly. Healing takes courage. You're showing it every day. I felt a mix of hope and lingering scars. For the first time in months, I allowed myself to imagine a life beyond betrayal. I realized that strength wasn't about hiding pain. It was about embracing it and choosing to move forward anyway. Later that evening, I walked home reflecting. My life had changed. I had survived humiliation, revenge, heartbreak, and betrayal, and now I could start to trust again, cautiously, wisely, and with patience. I whispered to myself, smiling, this is a new beginning, and I'm ready for it. I was at the office late, finishing up a project, when my phone buzzed. A message from Layla, we need to talk. It's urgent. I stared at it, heart skipping briefly, then settled into calm. I have nothing left to say, I typed back. Minutes later, there was a knock at the door. I looked up. Layla stood there, her usual confident mask replaced with tension. Saeed, we need to talk. Please, she said, voice tight. I leaned back in my chair. Layla, after everything, what could we possibly have to say? Her eyes flickered, betraying frustration. I made mistakes. I was wrong, but can't we fix this? I shook my head slowly. Fix this? There's nothing to fix. You humiliated me, lied to everyone, and walked away thinking you'd escape consequences. I don't need your apology, Layla. She stepped closer, voice trembling. I didn't realize I never meant— Stop, I said firmly. I've heard enough excuses for a lifetime. You had your chance and you lost it. You tried to control me, to humiliate me, and it backfired. That's the end of it. Layla's face hardened. You think you've won? This isn't over. I smiled faintly, calm and resolute. I don't think I've won, Layla. I know I've won. Not against you, but for myself. Your attempts to hurt me no longer matter. You've been exposed and I've moved on. Her jaw clenched and she stepped back, realizing she had no power left. You'll regret this, she spat. I shook my head. No, I won't, because I don't waste energy on people who don't deserve it. Karma has already delivered. And now I live on my own terms. She glared, then turned sharply and walked away. I didn't feel anger. I felt peace, light, quiet, and strong. I realized the final confrontation wasn't about proving anything to her. It was about proving to myself that I no longer needed validation from someone toxic. Amir, who had been waiting outside, entered quietly. She's gone, he said, nodding. You handled it perfectly, I smiled. Not perfectly, Amir, but I handled it honestly. That's what counts. I've been through betrayal, humiliation, revenge, and now I'm free. He clapped a hand on my shoulder. You've grown! You're stronger than you were, wiser, and finally at peace. I sat back, reflecting. Months of pain, anger, and planning had led to this moment. I understood betrayal, learned the value of patience, and discovered my own resilience. I wasn't the same naive man who trusted blindly. I had transformed. Looking out the window, I whispered, This is my life now. My rules, my strength, my choices. And for the first time in a long time, I felt complete. Heartbreak survived, lessons learned, karma served, and the future wide open. I smiled, letting the calm settle over me. The past was behind me. I was ready to live fully, freely, and on my own terms.